Good evening. How is everybody doing? Had to have a sip of green tea before we started here. Hope everybody is doing well. I hope your week was good. Interesting things happening around the world. Uh, Unbelievable. But if you have any concerns at all, just so you know, just I have an out for everybody. Everybody has an out. So if anything's going wrong, you need somebody to blame. It's not your fault. You don't have to take personal responsibility at all. Just remember that this is important. Now, listen, who do we blame? Does anybody know who we blame? If you know who we're gonna blame. Everything gets blamed on this person. So whose fault is it? So I'm gonna ask you in the comments whose fault. Hey, Kathy, how you doing tonight? I'll give you a moment here to get your answers out there. Who's to blame? You got it. Thank you. Wolfang, Randy Romines. No, it's not Biden's. Never Biden's fault. It's always Trump's fault. Come on. Come on. Everything is Trump's fault. I cannot believe if you watched, I watched, we're going to get into the topic, I promise you, but I had to discuss this really quickly. When I watched this press conference of Biden the other day, yeah, but it's really Biden's fault. Yes, of course it's really Biden's fault. But, the orange man, everything is the orange man's fault. Always have to blame it on him. So I want you to think about this, okay? So these were the first service members that died over in Afghanistan since, what was it, March of 2020. Why had there not been any killing of any service members of U.S. troops in that time frame? So let's talk about that. Trump made a deal with the Taliban to have all the troops out of there by May 1st of this year. If they stopped attacking us, he put a deal in place with them, right? Well, then Biden extended that deal, said, no, we want to do it September 11th. So it was the 20-year anniversary type of thing, right? And so as a result of that, this is what we get, okay? But what do? We deflect, we blame somebody else, we don't take personal responsibility, which is exactly what should have happened. I don't think that if they had stayed with Trump's deadline, if Trump had still been in office, let's just say, that it would have gone down the same way. I don't think that would have been the case at all. And that's my opinion. I believe that, again, you get the civilians out first, then you get the gear out. You don't leave that gear, billions of dollars worth of gear, all the ammunition, weapons, planes, everything else, drones, everything else. You don't leave that behind. Okay. And then, last but not least, then you take the troops out. But yes, it's FUBAR. And if you don't know what FUBAR is, I want you to look up the definition of FUBAR. It's a military term. Effed up beyond all recognition. FUBAR. That's yeah. But as we used to affectionately call it in the army, we were getting the big green weenie once again. So that's how it usually went down, and that's what we had to deal with. So any of my fellow army members know what I mean by that, the big green weenie. So anyway, hurry up and wait. I'm sure a lot of you remember remember that one. Hurry up and wait. So anyway, before we get into today's topic, um, my flag has been flying upside down since November. Yeah, I don't blame you, Stanley. I do not blame you at all. We are in distress. We are absolutely in distress. Uh, we have a feeble old man that they parade out there that they say is the president. When you have the president say, and I want you to think about this. So after he did his speech, what did he say? I want you to remember. If you watched it, I want you to remember. I'm going to call on whoever it was because that's who they told me to call on. Remember that? I remember that. What is up with that? They told you this is what you have to do, so you're going to do what you're told. Scary. Very, very scary. Yeah, border has collapsed. How many have evil intent? Exactly. Exactly. It is porous. You could have a tremendous amount of sleeper cells in this country right now. people waiting for orders to cause maximum chaos. And that would not be very difficult to do. Not difficult at all. Robin's asking yet, how many acres do you have in West Virginia? It is 25. I have 25 acres down in West Virginia. So, yeah, really excited. Can't wait. Oh, so I'm going to be going down obviously next month, as I told you guys, and looking forward to getting started on some projects. I will be documenting the crap out of everything so you guys can see from a raw piece of land what we're going to do and how we're going to be doing things. I do have some priorities, obviously, that need to be addressed, and so they will be. So, but anyway, I definitely need a tractor, Paul. You're right. And I'm going to be contacting a few companies about doing something like that. I also have a subscriber that lives in Pennsylvania that has graciously offered to let me borrow their tractor for a while. And I'm like, that was unbelievable, that generosity. But I'm hoping to make some kind of deal with one of these companies and do that. So, okay. So those of you that did not see the last live stream, this is Miss Stella. She is the newest member of the family because 7 cats is just not enough cats to have.
She's mine though.
Yeah, Heather. We were wanting to get Heather another little black cat, and so this is little Miss Stella, and she is very, very loving.
She's just the best.
Like, watch, guys. I'm going to show you. Look at this. Oh, the one time. Yeah, the one time. Oh, baby girl. She feels that fan. But normally you hold her like a baby, she's good to go with it. So she is the newest member of the family.
She's just a little fur box.
Yeah, she's a good little girl. So, okay. Anyway.
Goodbye.
So before we get into the stream and really get into talking, which we've already been flapping for 7 minutes already, imagine that. I want to remind everybody, very family-oriented channel. Please be decent in the chat and be kind. No racism, no nastiness. It's not going to be tolerated. If you can't abide by those easy, simple rules, those awesome people that you see lit up in blue will boot you out of here because I have the best moderators out there. They're on top of stuff. So we just want to keep it decent and everybody just relax and have a good time. Have a good chat, So, anyway, but yeah, it was pathetic to see what, and they were talking about, will you add more troops over there? And he's like, well, if the military says that that's what I should do, that's what I'll do. You're the president. You make those decisions. Very, very sad. Very, very sad. And just remember again, and I've said this before, and I will say this again. This is a direct result of the mantra of anybody but Trump. So remember that. So you get what you got because it's what you wanted. So now we are weak in the eyes of the world. We need to, take care of our business. And people need to know that you screw around with us and you're going to get thumped on the head. That's just my take on it. I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm very, very old school. And no, Biden is confused. Biden has no idea what's going on. He's not running squat. I'll tell you that. And that's, again, my opinion. Let me just put that out there to start with. I don't believe that he's in charge of anything. He is, it's sad to see the manipulation. So anyway, all right. So if you guys have seen in the news, the Supreme Court is taken away the CDC saying that we had to stop the eviction moratorium. So the eviction moratorium is now off the table and people will start being evicted from their homes, from their rental properties. And again, I want you guys to think about this, and I want you to put yourself in the shoes of some of these people. Now, and I've talked about this a little bit before, but I want to, let's say you're an older couple, you're in your 60s, 70s, maybe you're in your 80s, and you have your home and you have 2 rental homes, and you use those rental homes to supplement your income in your retirement. And you've rented both of those homes out and have had no problems, and people have paid their rent. And now all of a sudden this nonsense came out, and people stopped paying, and you couldn't get rid of them because of the protections that were put out there. So these poor folks, they still had possibly mortgage payments on these homes. They guaranteed they still had taxes that they had to pay on those homes. And in the meantime, you have these people in these homes or apartments or whatever the case may be, not paying rent, destroying these apartments, and doing that and they've worked the whole time. Yes, exactly, Mama Bear. But they stopped paying their rent, and they were just living it up and doing what they wanted to do instead of planning or doing, or paying their rent as they should have. This is the direct result of this. So now, as the old saying goes, it's time for the chickens to come home to roost. So I have zero sympathy for a lot of them. Now, if it's beyond your control circumstances, I do have empathy for people like that. But you better have had a plan. You better have had some kind of game plan of what you're going to do when that time ran out. Because if you didn't, you're going to be on the street, and what are you going to do? Because nobody else is going to rent to you. If you're a renter and you don't own property, you don't own a home, you don't have some place that you can go with relatives or anything like that, let me ask you a question. All right, now I want you to think about this. So you've lived in this house or apartment for a year and a half and you haven't paid anything, right? And now all of a sudden, now you're getting evicted, and whatever it takes, 30, 60 days, maybe 90 days at the most, and it's wintertime's coming up. Where are you going? What was your game plan from day one? What was your thought process? What did you do with all the money that would have normally gone to rent? Where did that go? So, those, and again, in some cases, people lost their jobs. A lot of people lost their jobs, and I'm not saying that. But in the last 4 or 5 months, you've had a tremendous amount of people, a lot of companies wanting to hire people, and people weren't working. A lot of people were not working because they could make more money staying at home, staying on unemployment, getting the supplemental money, which, oh yes, that also runs out in September. So that's another less than a week. That's done. So now I'm going to tell you what, you're going to see a big old surge in the job market come September, because, that's what you're going to see happen. People are going to all of a sudden realize, hey, I got to do something now. But all those people, when you go to try to rent your next apartment, and they say, where did you live previously? And if you say, well, I lived at 19 Smith Street, well, do you have a reference from that landlord? Oh, well, no, I didn't pay my mortgage. They're not going to rent to you, and they don't have to rent to you. There's nothing saying in any kind of writing that you have to be rented to. There isn't. They don't care, okay? Because landlords, apartment complexes, and management companies that run those, they want their money. That's just how it works. I mean, and I get it. I get it, because all this time, while these people were not paying, and I'm going to tell you what, I hate to think, I would never want to be a landlord. Never ever want to be a landlord, because you are looking at people that don't care about the property. They have no vested interest in that property, so they don't care if they destroy it. My stepfather did a lot of work for a landlord in Rochester, and he'd have to go in all the time fixing stuff. And he said, Ed, if you saw some of these apartments, he said it was shocking the way these people lived, but they don't care. So they're not going to take care of things the way that you would. Now, let me say, in the defense of some people are absolutely great tenants. They take care of things. They treat a home like it's their own home. They keep it clean. They keep up the yard, whatever the case may be. But when you've had this whole opportunity by so many people just to take that free ride, and they have, and now that free ride is over and they're still crying, Hey, Candace, how was the cat? Will we see the cat today? I can't stay pizza in the oven, Stella. Candace, you just missed her. She was just here. Heather just brought her in. The cat, she's adjusting very, very well. First day, she was hiding under the bed and in the closet in Heather's room. Heather kept her in her room, and she she's out now. She's hanging out, and she's been purring up a storm. Really, really happy. Hey, Felicia. Thank you for becoming a new prepper. She became a beginning prepper. Thank you very much for the support. I appreciate that. She became a new member on the channel. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, we have a membership on the channel that you can join. We have beginning prepper, intermediate prepper, and hardcore preppers. For the hardcore preppers, I do a live stream once a week. That is on Mondays. And so if you are interested, go to my main page. You'll see the join button. You click on that, and then if you decide you want to do that, you can. So thank you very much, and welcome, Felicia, to becoming a beginner prepper. So Candace says, "Ugh, I'll check the replay. LOL. Glad she's adjusting well. See you later." All right, we'll see you later, Candace. Yes. Yeah, she is a really sweet cat. You know, it's funny because I'm going to talk about the cat for a moment, okay? So Heather said to me, you know, Dad, as much as I love Bella, Bella was not a really friendly cat. She was kind of, you know, she was a grumpy old lady cat, is what she was right from the very beginning. She goes, this cat's really affectionate, loves to be petted, loves the attention. So she's like lit up like on cloud nine. I mean, like she brought that cat right in here when we started this stream. So I thought that that was really, really cool. And she's very, very happy. Hey, Felicia, thank you very much for the donation. I do appreciate that. Thank you very much. But yeah, so it's a good thing, you know. And 7 cats, 8 cats, who cares? What's one more cat, right? I mean, how is it like working fast food? Hey, Ed, dumb question. When do you know when to change your Berkey filters? Okay, good question, Big Bear Prepper 1. The only stupid question is the one that is never asked. So please don't think it's a stupid question, because it's not. What I do with my Berkey filters, I'll tell you right now, I clean them at least once a month. I use a toothbrush and just regular water. You don't use anything else. You'll have buildup on the outside of them. You get like a film. And so you take them and you scrub everything with that toothbrush. I have a toothbrush that hangs on the wall. That's strictly its job, is to clean the Berkey filters. You clean them. I would clean them once a month. It depends on how much you're using your Berkey. All right. It is for each filter, I believe it's 3,000 gallons per filter. And so if you have 2,000 or 2 filters in your Berkey, you're looking at 6,000 gallons of water. You just kind of figure out on, you know, what you're using monthly, kind of keep a chart of how much water you're putting into your Berkey, and you can do it that way. And then you can kind of figure out when it's time. I think it's really important with your Berkeys to have your backup Berkeys. Not the system, but your backup filters. Right now, I will tell you what, I got 2 Berkey filters in. I have 8 backup filters. So that's what I do. And it works fantastic. I haven't had to replace mine yet. I just make sure they're clean, and it's worked perfectly. But you'll be able to literally taste the difference in the water. And so, but I have 2 sets of backups. Yep, and that's the way to go. Like I said, I have the 4 sets of backups, so I have 8 altogether. When I do change them, I will put 2 new ones in. And yeah, it's a great product. I love it. But hopefully that's helps with that. But I definitely recommend putting it on a calendar and cleaning them once a month. It just, because like I said, there will be a film that builds up on the outside of them. Okay, so I hope that helps. I have 2 pure water filters and 12 filters. LOL, I'm poor. Hey, you know what? As long as you have something as a backup system for that, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. The price of the filters went up. Thank goodness I ordered more before today. Yeah. Well, that's, you know what? When everything started getting crazy last year, I had 1 set of backup filters. And so Becky and Mom decided to get a Berkey filter for their place. And so I was like, you know, when we ordered, we did it all at once. So they got their Berkey, came with the 2 filters. They bought 1 set of backups, and that's when I bought the other 3 sets of backups to put me up to 4. just a smart decision at the time, because again, when the time comes, I will tell you again, I know I say it all the time, but when the time comes, you're going to have what you have, and that's it. I have 9 Sawyer minis. Nothing wrong with that, Mama Bear Preps. Mama Preps 4, sorry. Yep, nothing wrong with that at all. I have several of those myself. I have redundancy. I have a Catadine water filter. I have the mini Sawyers. I have the filtration tablets. All kinds of. One is none, or two is one. One is none. So the more options that you have, the better. That's just my opinion. So I bought a Berkey earlier this year. It's on the shelf in the case. There you go. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's a good thing to have. Like I said, it's good to have those things in place for when the time comes than not have something at all. So what do we got? 645 in the chat, guys. We had 254 on the thumbs up. If you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to please do so to show support for the channel. And thank you very much ahead of time for doing so. It really does help with the algorithm. So the more interaction that we have, the better it is for the channel. So I thank you for that reason as well. And of course, the third reason, I do like to see a lot of thumbs up. It's part of the game. So now we ended up, like the last stream, I think we ended up with like 820 thumbs up. The stream before that, I think it was like 816. And the stream before that, it was like 810. So I would love to see us smash that today and not have to try to squeeze it out at the last minute like we had the last time. So again, if you show that support, I do appreciate it. Again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So let's get back and talking about the eviction moratorium here. All right, so time is up. As the old saying says, it is time to SH or get off the pot, right? There's a lot of people, and a lot of people are going to be in dire straits very, very soon. That is never a pleasant thing. I don't like seeing that. Now, some of these folks, it is because they've done it to themselves. There's absolutely no doubt about that. But there's also people through no fault of their own, their job was gotten rid of, and they couldn't do anything with that. But hopefully, a lot of these people, if they were still working, if they were still, if they stopped paying their rent, they have a game plan. I'm hoping that they do, because, like I said, again, people are not going to be opening the doors to rent to them once they know that they didn't pay before. Hey, did you see Pinball's video on seed shortages today? I did not see that, James Osborne, but that absolutely does not surprise me. I will say this again. I would encourage all of you that are gardening to make sure you're saving seeds from your gardens. Make sure you're saving seeds, because that is the best way to do it, is harvesting your own seeds from your own gardens so that you have seeds for next year. And that's going to be the best way to do that. So I would encourage you all to do that. Again, hopefully a lot of you have been paying attention and listening to me as far as continuing to learn and evolve as gardeners, as growers, because we are not going to be hunters in a post-event, because there will be nothing to hunt. Okay, we're going to be foragers and we're going to be gatherers. Okay, so learning how to garden, knowing what it takes, what it doesn't take. The important thing to learn is what works for your area of the country now, while it is not life and death. When it becomes life and death, if you put all of your eggs in one basket, you are going to be in big, big trouble. I'm going to give you a great example of that. First year we were here at the Homestead, I think, yes, I've seen the movie Jericho. Yep, I have seen that. First year that we were here at the Homestead, I had made a decision. I'm going to plant all these tomato plants, and I'm going to harvest all these tomatoes. I'm going to do a ton of canning. Well, a blight came, and it ended up killing most of these tomato plants. And I ended up harvesting, I think, 3 edible tomatoes out of maybe 24, 25 tomato plants. And the majority of my garden that year had been tomatoes. And so I learned a very, very, very valuable lesson from that experience. Number one, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Okay, that's an old saying too, of course, but it is so true. make sure your garden is diversified. The number one thing, and I'm going to encourage you guys on this one, the number one thing I believe that you should be planting in your gardens is potatoes, because potatoes are a great crop to have. They're going to give you all the seed potatoes that you can get, all the little potatoes from that harvest that you can use to plant the following year. It's a smart thing to do. It's a great thing to have. And potatoes are something that you can cook 800 million different ways. The Irish lived on potatoes for years and years and years. So potatoes should be a big part of your garden. So I definitely would encourage, yeah, you can live on just potatoes, exactly. So I think it's really important to do so. Sweet potatoes are awesome too. I love sweet potatoes as well. I think they're great. But gardening is going to be the key, absolutely the key. What are you planning for fall at, or planting for? I'm going to tell you right now, in New York, we don't plant for the fall because it doesn't work. Um, oh, Felicia just upgraded her membership to a moderate prepper. Well, thank you, Felicia. I appreciate that. That's awesome. She became a beginning prepper. Now she just upgraded to a moderate prepper. So welcome again, and thank you for the support. Again, any membership money, guys, that comes from that goes into what we're doing. So when I go down to West Virginia here and start doing what I'm going to be doing down there, that money from the memberships, from whatever donations, whatever the thing, that's going in to support those things right there. That's what it's going for. So I appreciate that. So thank you very much. Number 10 cans are awesome as well to have. You should be absolutely diversified in your preps. Okay, so we're going to talk about that briefly, and I will talk about that. Okay, should you have canned goods? Absolutely, yes, you should. If you don't, if not, the pull tabs are like the latest thing that they do, not as stable. If you can get the lids without the pull tabs, or canned goods without the pull tabs, I would highly recommend that you do so. Okay. Also, you should have dry goods, lots of dry goods. Your beans, your rice, your pastas, those type of things. Long shelf life's going to last a long time. Along with that, you should have your sugars, wheat berries. Wheat berries, not the flour itself, but get the wheat berries, because the wheat berries will have a 30-year shelf life. You can process that wheat later if you have to, and then if you have to, you also have them that you can replant for seeds. So it works either way. And so I definitely would encourage that as well. Your honeys, make sure you have honey, all those type of things. Then you absolutely should have freeze-dried foods. Now, you guys know, anybody who watches this channel knows, I have on my website, preparedness1.com, I sell legacy freeze-dried foods. I'm a big believer in Legacy, Augustin Farms, and Mountain House. Those would be the three that I personally highly recommend. And not just because I sell the one. It is really good. Again, it's the largest portion size of any of the other freeze-dried food companies. So that's why I recommend that you do that. And if you want to look at my website for that, I'll say it real quick. Preparedness1.com, click on store. It will drop down. You'll see Legacy Foods. Click on that. It will take you to the store within the website. What we have available is there. So definitely take advantage of that. You should have long-term food storage in your storage. Also get a handful of P38 can openers small. Keep one on my keychain. I can show you guys. Here we are, right there, right on the old keychain. I keep that. That's the number one thing on the keychain. Here's the number two thing on the keychain: tick removal. Okay, tick removal. Got to have that. If you live in the country, you better have a tick key, because that tick gets in you, and if you pull it out, if you don't get the head out, you're going to have problems. With the tick key, you get the whole tick out, no problems whatsoever. All right. Swiss Army knife is always in my pocket. That's another. I can show. Hold on. There's a Swiss Army knife. Always have that. Swiss Army knife, a lighter. As you know, I'm not a smoker. I don't smoke, but I always carry a lighter on me as well, because once again, you never know. And if you are in a situation you better have some things on you. I keep a lot of things in my truck as well. So if I am on the road and I'm driving and something happens, I have my get home bag, and I have a lot of other supplies that I can utilize to make sure I get home. And if I can't get home in one day, I can still be comfortable and protected from the elements and stuff like that. So cover a tick with Vaseline jelly, can't breathe through the skin, pull it out. I would rather use the tick key, Paula, and get it out right away. I don't want that thing in my body. So that's what I would recommend first. But yes, that is also good advice. That is something that you can do also. But if you can get it out right away, much better. So let's get back on here. Oh, it's 664 in the chat, 368. Let's jam up those thumbs up here. Let's see how high we can get that up tonight. So again, shoot a thumbs up, show support for the channel, and thank you for that. You have 48 hours to get that tick out. EB3 Dale says. Okay. So again, shooting a thumbs up really does also help with the algorithms. So I thank you for that reason as well. And, also, again, of course, the third reason I like to see a lot of thumbs up. Part of the game, just fun, and that's what we like to do. So thank you for that reason as well. So anyway, let's get back on this. We're talking about about 7.5 million people are going to be out on the streets very, very soon. And guess what's coming? Oh, yeah, lo and behold, winter. So there is going to be a huge increase in crime, in my opinion. You are going to see a lot of people in shelters trying to get help if they can, and it's not going to be a pleasant thing. It's not going to be a pleasant thing in any way, shape, or form. But unfortunately, and again, not everybody is taking advantage of the system. I want to make sure I put that out there. I'm not like blanketing everybody that is in this situation that it's all their own fault. That is not always the case. Okay. Yes, and we're going to be heading into flu season. But the flu season has never gone away this year, right? Just ask them. They will tell you. Oh, they have a different name. They don't call it the flu. So, anyway, I digress. It's time for me yet again to add another deadbolt to my reinforced doors. Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea. M. Hammer said 7.5 million. They had fair warning. Yeah, it's not like they didn't know that this was coming. 7.5 million families times 3 is 22.5 million. You're absolutely correct. So it would be a lot more. I'd get a Falcon. He can get you food for free. Yeah, now down in West Virginia, I'll bet that would be cool to have a Falcon down there. That would be neat. What do you do with the store the wheat berries in an airtight container? What I do with the wheat berries is I either I'll vacuum seal them, or a lot of times with some of my wheat berries, what I'll do is I just use glass jars, and then I will fill the gallon jars of ball candy jars. I'll fill those up. I put a bay leaf in there and I seal them up, and they get put away. That's what I do with a lot of the wheat berries. You can also vacuum seal the wheat berries, put them in a 5-gallon bucket for the extra protection, and store them that way. You can also, if you want to, get the Mylar bags, put them in the Mylar bags. Again, I would definitely recommend bay leaves. A few bay leaves in there. It helps keep the bugs out. The bugs don't like the bay leaves. Put that in there, seal it all up, again, back into another 5-gallon bucket as well. So there's 3 different ways that you can store the wheat berries. They'll store just fine any of those 3 ways. And again, you're looking at a 30-year shelf life. So you get it, you put it away. I recently just added another 50-pound bag to what I already have put away, just because, again, why not? It's something that if I had to, I could feed it to the chickens. It's also something that I can use to make flour, obviously. Also, I could replant it and make more wheat. So, a lot of options with the wheat berries. Don't pack processed flour. You're looking at about a year and a half, and then you're done. So it doesn't last as long. But if you have the wheat berries, again, you're looking at a 30-year shelf life. So in my opinion, well worth the money, a great way to go, and I highly, highly recommend it. If you're going to store that, do it that way, because again, then you have the options to utilize it however you want to utilize it. So let's see. I'm missing something here. You guys are talking about something. Truckers have a lot of power. Truckers have a tremendous amount of power. Without the truckers, the wheels aren't turning, things are not being delivered. So yeah, the truckers have a tremendous amount of power. Ed, do you think we will follow Australia with the lockdowns, the jab, etc.? I think that that's the way that they want to go, but I think they also know that we're not Australia here in the United States, and we're not going to tolerate it. I think they know that as well. So I think they're trying to initiate different things ahead of time. If you remember, there's legislation being put in place, and I want you to. So let's talk about this for a second, because this is actually something that's really a realistic thing that could happen. Isolating rural areas, cutting off rural areas, that absolutely could be done, and it's a way to control people. So how so, you say to me? Well, Ed, you can't control these rural areas. There's no way you're going to be able to police all those people in a large area. No, you're right, you're not. But if I cut off every major road into those areas, and if I cut off the power into those areas, and I cut off the water into those areas, and now you can't get propane, you can't get gasoline in those areas, how long do you think that the average person, other besides preppers, because preppers, we can go a long time, because we are prepared that way. Hello. Were you outside? Huh? Yeah, stop. Were you outside? I know. Yes, I love you too. So, other than preppers, how long do you think the average American citizen is going to sit out there with their heels dug in, saying, I'm not taking the government's crap, I'm not going to do what they're going to say? How long do you think they're going to last? They ain't going to last long. They're going to be crying. They're going to come in. I did a video, guys, a long time ago, a few years, probably 3 years ago, and it said 90% of you will go to FEMA camps willingly, and here is why. And in that video, I discussed what would happen, especially when you have your children are sick and need a surgery. You're going to lay your guns down. You're going to go in. You're going to give yourself up, and you're going to do whatever they tell you to do to be able to take care of that child or that loved one or whoever the case may be. So they're not stupid. They don't have to do anything to come down and hunt us down and come up into the woods and try to root us out, because they know exactly what would happen. We'll resist, we'll fight. There'll be large loss of life on both sides, right? And you're going to lose the popular public's opinion if you do that. So if you say, okay, this area over here of the country, we're cutting this area off, and if you want help, you have to come to us. Okay? Very, very simple, guys. It's really not that hard. It's not that hard. And so if you are not prepared for those type of contingencies, if you are not ready for that, people are not going to last long. They're not. Now, you will have your stubborn ones that I'm going to tell you right now, you get down into Kentucky, in Tennessee, in West Virginia, and those type of places, and those mountain folk, they ain't coming in. They're not coming in. You know what I mean? So that's a fact. Hey, Pamela Sherry, random question. Are you going to leave one or any of the dogs with your mom and sis? No. All the dogs are going to come with me. And the reason is because the dogs are a lot more work. And so they will be coming with me. So, that's, but thank you for that question. And that was actually one of the things they were like, you're taking all the dogs, right? And I'm like, yeah, I'm taking all the dogs. So Anyway, I don't know if you saw this today or not. I wanted to bring this. Thank you very much to Pam for the donation. I do appreciate this. I wanted to bring this up really quickly as well. You had today, I think it was today, and I was shocked. Two things. We're bringing up two things. I was shocked. First of all, I couldn't believe it. Biden says that China is holding back information about the origins of the virus. I can't believe that. Really? Wow. It's shocking. China being untruthful, not giving us the full story. I can't believe that. And you got to remember, I want you guys to remember something. I'm not talking about the Chinese people. I think the Chinese people are probably as awesome as we are. Hardworking people, take care of their business. I'm talking about the people in charge, the government. All right. So, that's what I'm talking about. Now, the second thing is, and I saw this and I went, bull crap. China says they've had no new cases of the virus. So what do we got to do to model China's awesome being able to control a country of 1.1 billion people, or 1.3, I think they're up to 1.3 billion people. How could we use that as a model? Well, we'd lie. That's how we'll do it. Because you can't tell me they're not having any cases over there. That's complete and utter bullcrap. I'm sorry. I will call a spade if a spade is a spade. That's a bold-faced lie. So for them to say that, it's just not true. So, and remember, a genetically modified virus that was let loose accidentally or on purpose, I'm sure it didn't come out of a virology lab in Wuhan, China, where it originated, right? The virus started there. I'm sure it didn't come out of the virology lab that's there. No, a genetically modified thing. I'm sure it was like a natural thing that came from a fish or a bat. Had to be. It's the only explanation. Chinese government couldn't be part of that. No. I mean, come on, man. Wake up. Wake up. And of course, I am giving you my opinion, just so you know. But deception is the core of communism. Yeah, no kidding, you think? Of course not. It was a fish market. Of course, a wet fish market. That's the absolute cause of it. I guarantee it. All right. So we're getting close to that time for the. We're getting close to that time for egg count, so we might as well go ahead and do that. But before we do the egg count, I'm going to ask again for another thumbs up. We got 721 in the chat. We're at 478. Now the goal is to easily be over 800 today. So the more we can get it out now is the less we got to worry about it later. So I'm going to ask again, if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, to please do so to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time for doing that. Also, it really helps with the algorithms. So the more interaction that we have, positive or negative, but obviously we prefer the positive, it pushes us up higher with the algorithm. And I thank you for that reason as well. Asif said here, hold on a second, I want to read what he said. Gain of function gene in COVID is not naturally found in nature. I did my underground thesis in viral genetics. Imagine that. Thank you very much, Asif. And again, for those of you that do not know, Asif is a doctor. So I think he kind of has a really good idea what he's talking about. And so thank you for that information, Asif. Yes, and they were researching gain of function. So also, again, if you are not subscribed to the channel, I would ask you to please subscribe. Make sure you hit that bell icon to get all notifications as well. So I do have to put this out there, okay? I'm going to give you the egg count first, and I'm going to tell you why. If you had the same exact guess as Katie Grazer with 5 eggs, then you were 100% right today. And Thickneck did not lay for a second day in a row. I believe that the reason the egg count has been less than it should be is because the chickens are starting to molt. So what does that mean for those of you that have no idea? It's very, very simple. When the chickens start to regrow feathers, it's called molting. When they are doing that, their egg production goes down because that extra energy to get those feathers growing goes into that instead of production of eggs. So I think the lazy chickens, I know. But I think that's why the egg production is down, because I was looking today and I could see some of them had the start of new feathers, and I said, so that makes sense. That makes sense. So what? What? I know. You're a good baby. You are a good baby. She is such a beautiful dog. Ed, have you fixed the rooster issue yet? No, I have not. I need to, and I will. I have offered to give these other two beautiful roosters away. If anybody would like to take them, please contact me. The preparedness1 at yahoo.com. More than willing to give those away because I don't want to have to get rid of them any other way. But they may have to go to freezer camp otherwise. What? No, no. You're all right. Yes, I know. She's such a baby. So, Australia killed all their service dogs, sick people. I saw something like that. They were saying that the virus was in the dogs, so they killed all the service dogs. I think that is horrific. Horrific that that's the answer. Well, if so, my question to that would be, hold on. Asif says, I can give your roosters a tour of my oven. Come and get them, Asif. You can have them, right? Uh-huh. All right. I got to concentrate, baby. Relax. Go lay down. Go lay down. Good girl. So, anyway, yeah, I gotta take care of that. I do. It's just a matter of just doing it. What kind of roosters are they? Are they big birds? No, they're not real big. They're smaller, but they're really pretty. I'll have to show them on video. So, Janet says dogs don't carry the virus, nor do cats. Well, my question would be, if this vaccination thing works so great, why wouldn't you have vaccinated the dogs to protect them instead of killing them all? That doesn't make any kind of sense to me at all. So, um, Australia pepper sprays children not wearing masks. I saw that too. They've lost control over there. The people over there in Australia, and I know I got a lot of subscribers from Australia that watch the channel. My heart goes out to you guys because you are so handcuffed. First of all, you willingly gave up your guns because some idiots decided that needed to be done because of a mass shooting by a lunatic. You know, and now you have this type of stuff, totalitarianism, where they are basically dictating to you what you can and cannot do. You know what? I find it amazing. I find it amazing, and here's a great point. And I thought this was from the whole beginning of this thing. I thought how ridiculous this was. And I'm just making a point here, just making a statement. So to go into a restaurant, you had to wear a mask, right? Remember, I know we had that mandate here in New York. They wanted you to come into the restaurant. You had to have your mask on when you came in. But once you sat down at your table, then you could take it off. How does that work? All magically in that booth, there's no way you can get anything. This is not, in my opinion. Once again, let me just reemphasize that. Maybe too many dog birds killing the green dream. Oh my God, that's funny, Pamela Sherry. Who knows? But I think it's insane that you would dispatch all your service animals. The government did. They didn't kill all the animals and all the dogs in the country, but they did dispatch of the service animals. I did hear that. So, but it's time for people of Australia to realize how much power that they have and to stand up to the government and say no more. I know, like I said, if the truckers all stood up and said, hey, I know there was talk about blocking off highways and stuff like that in Australia. Truckers got a lot more power than you folks think. Anybody travels anytime during the day, You see all kinds of truckers. I generally like to travel at night. That's when I like to travel, and it is unbelievable the amount of trucks out on the road at night, and those wheels keep turning. And then you hit a truck stop, and there's all kinds of them. They can only run for so long, and then they have to rest. So, and now as he jumped off his high rise, and a neighbor below filmed the body below, cops were just standing around. Yeah, well, you know what? When you do that to people, when you isolate people, when you dictate to them what they can and cannot do, it definitely causes mental issues. We are not designed to do that, to be separated, to not be. We're social animals. We're social animals, and and as much times as there is, you don't like people or whatever, for most people need that socialization. They need to be around other people. Uh, but anyway, like I said, we need to support the truckers, and hopefully the truckers over there will do something to show their displeasure with what is going on. And if they decide to shut things down, they can in a heartbeat, and then nothing will be going. And then I'll tell you what, the government would probably listen a little bit more. Same thing will happen here. I definitely so. The question had been asked: do I see that happening here in the United States? I see them trying, to be honest with you, but I think enough people have had enough, and I think if they search your property for firearms, they'll bring metal detectors and dogs. EV3 Dale said that. Well, again, if it gets to a point where it gets to that type of control, hopefully you're not having them hidden at that point, and you're using them accordingly, and giving them the lead first. That's kind of my take on that one. That would be my thing. So, but yeah, there is. It's crazy right now. And again, there is a division going on that's being perpetuated by the news media. And if you think I'm wrong, go watch the news. Go listen to the radio. Go listen to all the information that's being put out there on the internet. What they're doing, the division now, is the vaxxed and the unvaxxed. They've already used the race thing. They've beat the race thing to a dead horse, right? We're all supposed to hate each other because we're different colors. Well, that's not working out the way that they thought it would. In a lot of cases now, so that's kind of going away. So the next dividing tool, of course, then is religion. This religion's bad, our religion's good. This religion is evil. We've gone through all of that. But people are realizing if you want to worship in whatever way you want to worship, you should have the right to do that. That's my opinion. Again, okay. The third thing they used to divide us was political affiliation. Look at the divide. The left, the right, you have to pick a side. I don't have to pick anything. I can do whatever I want. I have a free choice. I'm a human being. I can do whatever I want to do. But unfortunately, you have this division that they're putting out there. Now, the latest thing is the vaxxed and the unvaxxed. So they're making it like, I saw some article and I thought, how stupid is this? And it said a lot of vaxxed people are dismissing their unvaxxed people, taking them out of their circles, or not being friends with them anymore. That's crap. If you're my friend, and I'm going to tell you what, you know where I stand on it. You guys know where I stand on it. But if you're my friend and you've decided to get it, good for you. Who cares? Knock yourself out. It's your body. Do whatever you want to do with it. I don't care. It's not gonna make me say, oh, you know what, because you did that. Oh no, I'm not hanging out with you anymore. That is the stupidest thing I've ever heard of in my life. But this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to use us once again against each other to force people to comply, to do what they're told. Like I told you guys before, um, my ex-wife, who's vaccinated, said to Heather, "It breaks my heart, that you're not getting vaccinated." Now, she could have come back, and I'm just going to use one example. She could have come back to her mother and said, well, you know, it breaks my heart that you smoke cigarettes and you're slowly killing yourself by doing that. But that sure didn't stop you from smoking. And that's just one example. There's more, but I'm not going to get into that. But anyway, and that's what a friend told me today because I have not. Well, you know what? Then they're not your friend, Happy Homesteader. They're not your friend then. And you need to be very, very honest with them and say, if that's how you feel, then you're not my friend. So have a nice life and I'll see you later. Because the friends, true friends, not acquaintances, true friends are not going to care one way or the other. They're not going to be manipulated by the propaganda and everything else that is being put out there. They're just not going to be. So, did you see the photos of the planes? Afghan men, apparently women and children go. Oh, mostly full of men. I did not see that. I did not see that, Randy Romines. And yet the CDC and Fauci admitted today that the booster shots will not work. Well, when you have things mutate, that's what happens. Now Caesar's here for some attention as well, but Caesar's very chill, aren't you? He is the most chill dog you ever wanted to see in your life. So, divide and conquer, exactly right. Exactly right. And, you know, we're not even going to get into everything with that. But anyway, real quickly again, what are we at? 7-11 in the chat. We're at 549. Let's get rocking on those thumbs up, guys. I want to see if we can blow out the number from the last stream. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, again, I'm going to ask you to do so to show support for the channel. And thank you ahead of time for doing so. Again, it really does help with the algorithms. So the more interaction that we have, the better for the channel. So I thank you for doing it for that reason as well. Again, it just pushes us up higher up with the rankings. So the more activity, the better. Okay. The third reason, of course, I do like to see a lot of thumbs up. It's part of the game. Also, if you are not subscribed, please make sure you subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get all notifications as well. So really quickly, I did talk earlier about the legacy freeze-dried foods on my website. So we're not going to talk about that, but we will talk about the Prepper Nurse One community, which we have on my website at preppernurse1.com. It is a resource that we set up for you guys to connect with like-minded people. It is free to join. You do have to register because it is private, but no credit card information is asked at all. So that is the way to do that. If you want to go in, just read the message boards, go in and check out and try to connect with somebody in your state or your country. I would encourage you to do that, okay? The other thing, we have the Forefathers, which is the CBD and hemp store on the website, preppernurse1.com. You'll see the Forefathers logo. Click on that. It will take you to their website. They have the CBD and hemp products over there. If you decide to make a purchase over there, when you check out, make sure you use the discount code PrepperNurse1. And that's the number 1, not ONE. You'll save yourself 15% on your purchase. I set that up when I got working with these guys right at the very beginning, and that is not going to change. I'm going to keep that right there at 15% for you guys so that you can save yourself a little bit of money. CBD products are a great thing to have. Definitely should have them in your preps, and I encourage you to do so. It helps with so many different things. That's the beauty of it. So, but anyway, let's see. To control people, control their money, their guns, and their food. Karl Marx. And that's as simple as that. It is as simple as that. Henry Kissinger in 1974, I believe it was, said if you control the food, you control the people. So, you know, and he was very smart. What, baby? What are you doing? Why are you whining? You're okay. You're okay. I know she's in your way and you can't get over to me. You're all right. Like a big child. So, but anyway, again, control the food, control the people. Be as self-sufficient as you can be. Get those fruit trees planted. Get those blueberry bushes planted. Any kind of, bushes that produce food, raspberry bushes, all those type of things. You will have a food source. Can as much as you possibly can. Really, really important. Do that, and you're going to be in much, much better shape. So those are things I despise Kissinger. Well, I didn't say I like the guy. I'm just using a statement of what he said. So no, they're all these politicians, and again, and I know I've said this before, and I'll say this again. Republican, Democrat, two feathers of the same bird, two sides of the same coin. At the end of the day, they don't give a crap about you or me. They never have. They never will. They give us lip service. They tell us all the wonderful things they're going to do for us. And then at the end of the day, what do? They make themselves and their rich friends and the special interest groups that get them elected. That's who gets rich, not us. What we do is we continue to pay, continue to pay, continue to pay. They enact more and more and more draconian laws on us, more and more control over our lives and what we do and what we are allowed to do. And think about that. Do you want to be in a country where you have to show your papers to be able to have permission to do the things that you want to do, that you like to do? Think about that. I want you to, because it's really important. I think a lot of people really don't like that, if you really think about it. Ed, there are 60K restaurants that will not be enforcing the BC mandates. Those are places I will be voting with my dollar. There's a Facebook group they started. That's all we need to do. And you're right. And you're right about that. I know that there is in Canada as well. Trudeau's lost his mind up there. And, again, George Carlin had it all figured out. When George Carlin said it's a big group and you ain't in it, we ain't in it. We ain't in that group. They don't care about us. All they want us to be like, and again, George Carlin said, smart enough to run the machines, but stupid enough to believe the incessant amount of BS that comes out of Washington. So, yeah, how are they getting around the HIPAA laws, Jason Smith? You know what? That is a great question, because with the HIPAA laws, your information, what you have done or have not had done, is supposed to be private. So, yeah, that's another thing that I find amazing. HIPAA does not apply in this situation. Bullcrap. I don't agree with that at all. Absolutely, it should. It absolutely should. If it's something to do with you yourself, the HIPAA law should apply to that. So again, if you are okay having your documentation and strutting around and having to show it to do what you want to do that you've been doing all along before this, and I want you to remember again, I want you to think about this. There is a thing out here that a lot of people have no idea that they had it until they were tested and found out that, oh yeah, you're positive, right? So they had no idea that they had it. That the survival rate is so high. Overall, the overall survival rate is what, 99.7% overall. Oh my God, then you better run out and get something to protect yourself from that. I mean, it's ridiculous. Pay attention. Look at the stuff. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. And if there is a smidgen of a chance that there may be an adverse reaction, which we know that there's more than a smidgen of a chance, right? Why would you do it? Why would you take that chance? It's your life. That is your life. So, again, a lot of manipulation has been going on for a very, very long time. And I want you to also think about the simple fact that if this is the worst thing that's happening in the whole world, right? Oh my God, this is the worst thing that's going to happen in the whole world. Why would facilities, hospitals, nursing homes say, if you don't get this by this date, you're going to be fired, right? So now you already have a shortage. You already have a huge burnout rate from people dealing with this for the last year and a half. And now you're going to put more restrictions on, and there's people that are going to say, absolutely not, I'm not doing it. So they're going to lose their jobs. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Does that make any kind of sense? They should be begging for anybody that's willing to come and work to do it. So again, That's just my opinion on that. And, I'm just sharing my thoughts on that. So once again, we're at 609 in the thumbs up. We got 657 in the chat. We don't have as many in the chat as we had the other day, but I still think we can hit that 800 number on thumbs up. So if you have not shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you again to do so to show support for the channel. And I thank you ahead of time for that. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithm. So the more interaction we have, the better it is for the channel. So thank you for that reason as well. And again, I do like to see a lot of thumbs up. That's part of the game, of course. So I thank you for doing it for that reason as well. Also, again, if you're not subscribed, I would ask you to please subscribe and make sure you hit the bell icon to get all notifications. And they already admit that PCR tests are inaccurate. Why continue to stick with that things up people's noses? You know what? And that's another thing. You're wearing a mask because if you cough this out, you could spread it, right? That's what they're saying. Well, why are you sticking something up somebody's nose? Why aren't you doing a mouth swab? It's in the mucus. So again, I don't know. Just speculating, just wondering. That's kind of where I'm at with that. So real quick, guys, I want to do some shout outs for some other channels. One of the newer channels that I was watching, like I've told you guys, is a Green Dream Project. They are out in Arizona, and nice couple working on things out there. Different perspective completely because they're in the desert. So I think that's a really, really cool thing. And so I definitely think Trump wasn't in the boys club. If you think that, Jason Smith, I think you're sadly mistaken. Trump is a billionaire. And I want you, okay, so for all the people that think, and again, I want you to think about this. All the pictures of Trump with all these highfalutin celebrities, these politicians, before he got into politics. He's one of the elite. If you don't think that Trump is one of the elite, I don't know what one of the elite would be. I don't know what they would be. If it's not Trump, I don't know who one of the elite would be. Okay. Now, do I believe that Trump got into the politics because he felt that he needed to try to save America? I do. But I also think he was lining his own pocket at the same time because that's what they do. Okay. So let's be honest. All right. But he is definitely one of the elites. There's no doubt about that. And he was okay with everybody until he decided to become a Republican. Then all of a sudden he was a racist. So him rubbing elbows with Oprah and having pictures taken with her and all these other big celebrities, he was okay before then, but then afterwards he wasn't. It's all a game. It's all a manipulation. If you guys can't see that, I don't really know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell you because it's like, it's all a manipulation. It's all a manipulation. So, but anyway, let's continue on with. I'm sorry, I wanted to bring that up. So I saw that that comment, and I just really wanted to touch on that because I think we need to be realistic. Okay, Trump ain't the savior of everything. Trump is one of the elite. So don't ever be fooled to think that he wasn't. Okay. So anyway. Yes, he donated his presidential salary because he's rich. He didn't need that money. I respect that. I think he tried to help the country. I absolutely do. So that's also my opinion on that. Was he crass? Was he a buffoon at times? Of course he was. But I like that. He was also somebody that other governments didn't screw around with because they knew he was a loose cannon. Sometimes that's what you need. That's what you need. You don't need a feeble old man that can't even speak properly up there fumbling over his words. You don't need that because that just shows weakness, and people will eat you alive if they detect weakness. So, but Joe is rich too. Don't see him donating his salary. Of course not. Trump's the only one that ever did it. Trump's the only one that's ever done that. So anyway, let's get back to what we were doing here. Don't get me started. Don't get me on my soapbox, guys. So anyway, Green Dream Project, really good channel. Definitely check them out. Icky Can up in Canada. My boy Icky up there, he's a good guy. Definitely go show him some support. JJ, if you would throw the link up there. North Shore Preparedness, 80K Man. Sean James with My Self-Reliance up in Canada as well. Great channel. You have Marfugal News out on the West Coast. You have Doug and Stacy. Great channel there as well. Southern Prepper 1. Green Greg's is another good channel. You have Pinball is another really, really good channel. And again, for those of you that don't know, I will be attending the Pinballs event on the 16th of October. I will definitely be there for that in Tennessee. So, because I will be down at my property in West Virginia, and the drive to Tennessee is not going to be so far from West Virginia. So, that's what I'm planning around that. So, I plan on being down there then, and then working during that week, and then going to the event. So, also, we have Magic Prepper, and let's see who else we got. Wrangle Star, Diamond from the Oppenheimer Ranch Project. You also have Suspicious Observer, Ice Age Farmer. A lot of great channels out there, guys. You know, a lot of great channels. So I think we should be Alaskan Granny, Angry Prepper, Canadian Prepper. What do we got? I said Alaskan Prepper already. Alaskan Granny. Yep, I think is another one. I did say Angry Prepper in New York City. So there's a lot of really good channels out there. A lot of good information. Everybody looks at things differently. So looking at the different channels to check out a different perspective, I think is a really cool thing to do. So, definitely, support each other. Tell them Prepper Nurse 1 sent you over, and we'll go from there. All right. So, but anyway, we're not making 800. I don't think we're making 800 tonight. We're at 657 on a thumbs up, guys. We are an hour and 11 minutes into this, so we got like 10 minutes to go. Got a long way to go. 140 more just to get to 800. So again, if you haven't shot that thumbs up yet, please do that to show support for the channel. So thank you very much. Happy Prepper. Yes, Happy Prepper was another one. Nice young man. So I spoke with him, with his parents on the phone. Very, very squared away young man, very polite. And you could tell he was raised right. You could absolutely tell he was raised right. Nice kid. So once again, thumbs up, show support for the channel, and thank you ahead of time. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithms. Bear Independent, yep, I didn't say him, so I apologize for missing him. So, but again, that's, yep, left wing, right wing, same bird, exactly. And at the end of the day, they all are in their own little club, and they don't give a crap about any of us. That's one of the things you do need to remember. So, well, let's do this really quickly. We are Legion because we are many. We are all over the world. We're all over the country. We are a huge family. We're a huge network. And again, we're the good Legion, not the bad biblical Legion. We're like the American Legion, like a Roman Legion. We are all over. We're a huge network, a huge family. Where is everybody from tonight? We have Melbourne, Australia. Philip from Melbourne, Australia. Welcome and glad you're here. Prepper Princess, yes, is another one. Good channel. Upstate South Carolina, it's Asib. Central Missouri, Eastern Kentucky, Ulster Park, New York, Beech Grove, Indiana, BC, Canada, Vancouver Island, BC, Canada, Navajo Nation in Arizona, welcome. Nowhere, Oklahoma, Alabama, Indiana, New Mexico, Connecticut, Southwest or Syracuse, New York, Fort Worth, Texas, Somerset, Pennsylvania, Sanibel Island. We have Leesburg, Florida, East Tennessee, East Central Illinois. I think I just saw New Zealand go by. We have Florida, Northern Michigan, Kentucky, Bassett, Virginia, Edmond, Oklahoma, Kansas, Michigan, Las Vegas, Nevada. Let's see, Raleigh, North Carolina. We have Utah in the house, Western Wisconsin, North Highlands of California, Western New York, California again, Southern California, Washington State, Northeast Ohio, Maine, Columbus, Ohio, Stockton, Utah, White Mountains, Arizona, New Half, California, Hillman, Michigan, Oregon, Albion, New York. I grew up there as a kid. Edgewater, Florida, Nashville, Tennessee, Idaho Falls, Idaho, New York City. So the person that lives in Albion, New York, I used to live on Transit Road, down by Patton's Junkyard. We had a farm out there when I was a kid, long, long time ago. Junkyard's still there. I don't think any of the Pattons are still around, or they moved away. You know what I mean? We have New York, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Gatlin, Pennsylvania, Franklin, New York, St. Augustine in Florida, Montreal, Quebec, Canada, very nice, Virginia, uh, Adel, California. So, again, all over the place, all over the country, a huge, huge network of people. We are absolutely the ones that can make a difference, and we should try to make a difference if we can. Oshawa, Ontario, Canada. So, yeah, we're all over. Again, we're a huge network. We're the ones I truly believe that are woken for a reason. And I know I keep saying that, and I beat that like a dead horse as well. But I think it's important. I think people need to realize that. Really, really need to realize that. We have a light bulb has gone off in our heads for whatever reason to realize that we need to be ready. And so, with doing so, I think it gives us an advantage. And when the time comes, we got Mississippi in the house. Hey, listen, be careful down there, Mississippi. That listen to that hurricane, she's coming. So hopefully it doesn't hit you. I hope it doesn't. But if it does, please be safe. We also got Wyoming. Wyoming's beautiful, just so you know. It's my first time out there, going out there and doing Devil's Tower. Beautiful, beautiful state. Loved riding in Wyoming. It was awesome to ride in. So very, very cool. So just want to put that out there too. I saw that she said, hey. So anyway, again, continue to prep, continue to get ready. We are the ones, guys. We really are the ones that can make a huge difference. Dark Side of the Moon, I love it. Great album, Sean. So we need to continue to be vigilant, continue to get ready. I know I say this a lot as well, but when the time comes, folks, you are going to have what you have. So if you said, "Oh, I'll wait to get this," or "I'll wait to get that," I'll give you, like I said, another update too, as far as like my dental care, what I have to have done. I have one more tooth that has to come out, but before I have that tooth pulled, I have 4 cavities that I have to get fixed, which I don't think is bad considering that I haven't been to the dentist in eons. They asked me, when was the last time you had your teeth cleaned? I said, I have no idea. They said, was it longer than 5 years? I said, oh yeah. They said, was it longer than 10? I said, it could have been. So, going and getting my teeth cleaned and getting, that checkup done and getting the x-rays done, and getting the teeth taken care of that need to be taken care of, hugely, hugely important. You can get an infection in your tooth that's going to affect your health, and it can kill you. So I really want to encourage you, if you have any kind of teeth problems as well, please address them. Please get them taken care of. Okay. So I, believe it or not, I am more than happy to go to the dentist. I just couldn't afford to go before, so I didn't. But it's something that I feel that I need to really address and take care of, and so that's why I'm doing it now. I'm not waiting until it's too late, and then, oh my God, I should have, would have, could have. Uh, you know, did you hear a U.S. official gave Taliban names of Americans still over there? I did hear that, and I think that's insane too, because now they can hunt those people down, and they can say, "Oh no, we never found them," and then they can do whatever they want to do. It's insane. The whole thing is insane. You know, you already know what I would do. I would clear it out and turn it into a parking lot. That's exactly what I would do. If you step within inside this buffer zone, you are the enemy, and you will be dealt with accordingly. And that don't matter who it is. So that's how I would deal with it. I would have a 5 mile buffer zone all around that freaking that airport. And if you're coming there, you're coming there with permission. I would not let the Taliban or anybody else. So somebody said, "Oh, it wasn't the Taliban. It was this other group that did the bombing." They're all the same. They're all the same. So, in my opinion, I'm giving you my opinion. So that's where I stand with that. All right. So anyway, I want to thank my moderators who do an absolutely fantastic job. They keep the chat clean. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, who do that for me. You guys are the best. and I really truly appreciate what you do. I thank all of you for being here. You guys are awesome as well. I love the support. You guys are fantastic. You ask great questions. Again, remember, the only stupid question is the question that is not asked. Okay, remember that. That is important. Also, excuse me. What are we at? 713 on the thumbs up. I'm gonna ask one more push. I don't think we're hitting 800 today. We just didn't have the numbers in the chat, but that's okay. Let's just try to get as close to 800 as we can. So if you haven't shot a thumbs up yet, I'm going to ask you to do that one last time. And thank you ahead of time for doing that. Also, again, it really does help with the algorithm. So the more we get in there, the better it is for the channel. So I thank you as well for that reason too. So also, again, I like to see a lot of thumbs up. That's part of the game. So anyway, I look forward to sharing my adventure down in West Virginia with you all. We're going to have an amazing process down there. It's going to be a lot of work, but it's going to be a lot of fun at the same time. So I'm really looking forward to that. I can't wait to share it with you guys and show you everything that we're going to do down there. And I will document everything, I promise. So you will see it all. Remember, guys, we are all in this together. We are one race called the human race. I had somebody in the chat, and I know it was a troll, and it was okay. Ended up blocking them and stuff like that. They were like, "Oh, you're so sympathetic to the Afghans and the women and stuff like that, but you don't like people of color." My mantra that I preach all the time: we're one race called the human race, right? I always talk about that. So this person was trying to goad me and get me going. Wasn't going to play that game. I'm not ever going to play that game. So if you want to come on my channel and start trying to play that I'm like some kind of racist, I'm just going to block you. Just putting that out there ahead of time. So just so you know. We're one race called the human race. As soon as we can figure that out, we're going to be in much, much better shape. People need to realize that we are human beings. We all bleed red. Stop letting them divide us. Stop letting them divide us over race. Stop letting them divide us over religion. Stop letting them divide us over political affiliation. And definitely do not let them divide us over vaxxed or unvaxxed. Okay? Also remember to hug and kiss the ones that you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. So it's really, really important that we tell the people that we love and care about every single day how we feel. So what do we got? 740. Let's go. Let's shoot for 750. 10 more. 10 more thumbs up, guys. I know I'm a pain in the butt, and I'm sorry, but can't help it. It's in my nature. So let's see if we can hit 750. Also remember, guys, STD, Step Thing and Day, just recently crossed over at 9,000 or 94,900. Just crossed that barrier. So let's hit 95 or hit 100,000. I'm getting STD tattooed on my body. All right. Step Thing and Day, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you were trying to do, whatever you were trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that is going to stop you from reaching your goals is you. That's it. Nobody. That is a lovely tan color with rosy highlights. Yeah, I'm not white. I'm definitely not white. I tan up really good though. So, but anyway, whatever you're trying to accomplish, whatever you're trying to do, you can do it. The only person that can stop you from reaching your goals is you. That's it. Nobody else can stop you. Stay positive. Stay away from the negativity, and you guys are going to be just fine. All right? I will see you all tomorrow. I hope everybody has a very, very safe weekend. Let's continue to keep an eye on Ida. Now, I'm not sure what the French version of Ida is, because I know that when I looked at what I thought was Henry, and it was Henri, French. I'm sorry, I thought this was America. We use American pronunciations, but apparently not. So if there's another version that we have for Ida, for the French version, just let me know. I'm an a-hole. I'm telling you, it's just, I can't help it. It's just the way I am. So anyway, I will see you guys all later. I hope you have a great night. Be safe this weekend. Let's keep an eye on the storm. Let's keep the people in our thoughts that are in harm's way. All right? Unvetted hurricane, right? And of course, with the virus going, it just makes it that much better. So anyway, I will see you all later. Have a great night. Prepper Nurse 1 out for now. And we had 760.